All right, so my name is Dr. Dan Martin. I'm a research engineer with USDA ARS, Agricultural Research Service in College Station, Texas. I've been doing aerial application technology research and extension for the last 25 years, 10 years at LSU and 15 years with USDA. So back in 1999, the USDA patented a new technology at that time for an aerial electrostatic spraying application system. So this system has been in place for the last 20-some years, worked very well for production agriculture. It was just 2 years ago that we looked at using this type of technology to enhance rainfall. And so this is the system that we use right here. This is an electrostatic nozzle that was patented by USDA back 20 years ago. And what it does is it charges the spray droplets as they exit the nozzle. Okay, and so yeah, so this is just a little bit of a close-up there of the different components. As I said, this system has been used in production agriculture for the last 20 years. Patented by Dr. James Carlton, who was a USDA research engineer like myself. So here are the major components of the system. And we've done a lot of work actually initially in the wind tunnel. 2 years ago we started looking at how it might enhance rainfall in the wind tunnel. And then from there, we went on and did some additional testing over at Eglin Air Force Base because the wind tunnel results showed some promise. So we wanted to dig a little deeper under climate-controlled conditions. This is what the system looks like to the pilot. It shows him what the voltage is on the system and then also what the current that's being applied to the system is. In the wind tunnel, we had, I did lots of different tests to optimize the system. The most important parameter is charge to mass ratio. It's how much charge you can get on a particular droplet of certain mass. And so the higher that charge to mass ratio is, the more attracted the droplet is to the target material, which in our case it's normally plants. In this case, it's those small droplets that are in clouds. And so the higher the charge to mass ratio, the more attracted those small droplets are to our charge droplet. And so thus the charge droplet becomes the nucleus, the cloud condensation nucleus that we're looking for.
My question is, have you tested the rainwater? And if you haven't, have you seen the results of our rainwater tests? And also, are you aware that many of the people sitting in this room right here have very high levels of barium, aluminum, and strontium in their blood? People are getting sick and dying. And we want the ADEQ not just to give us a little speech today, but actually to maybe perhaps speak out against it if you know it's going on. And if not, I would suggest you do a lot more investigation. We've been doing it for years. So I'd like a comment on, one, the rainwater, what's in it, and two, what's in our blood. And if it's not coming from geoengineering, is it your responsibility to investigate that and tell us where it is coming from?
All right, guys, welcome in. Welcome back to another edition of Above Ground World News. As soon as I start talking, they buffer the stream. They're completely deleting subs every day. They keep resetting it back down to like 51.9 or something like that. It's ridiculous what ScrewTube is doing. Now, I got to stress this again. there's no way in hell any president is going to stop the chemtrailing. Now, I talked about this before the cereal brain video come out. Every mid-July through August, we can go back every single year. They only spray out ahead of the storms, and they spray ahead of the fires. So they don't spray that heavy in mid-July through August. It's like this every single year, but yet we have giant YouTube channels like the Cereal Brain, and now we have SGT report out here saying Trump is stopping the chemtrails. Come on now. He's got over 500,000 subscribers, giving them false hope just because California has clear skies for a couple weeks. Come on. I also seen in chat somebody in Louisiana said they weren't spraying, hasn't sprayed in weeks. Well, you're getting sprayed right now. We take a look at it right now. They're spraying at night. I got this turned way down real slow. Look, here comes the aerosols in from Tennessee going through Mississippi. There's some aerosols there in Arkansas. They're going to come down and hit you as we speak. Over here in South Carolina, you're getting bombarded with long liners. Over in Florida, but here they come. Look at the X's are coming in. Hopefully that's coming out clear enough for you. And we can see anywhere on the map, wherever the fires are, that's where they're spraying. Wherever they're getting ready to flood you out, that's where it's going to rain. This is all aerosols being deployed over Mississippi, Arkansas, Tennessee, and going down right into Louisiana. And check this out. As the aerosols start loading up, these storms are running backwards. And then you're going to see here some more segmented spray. I always say the segmented spray means rain. When they're doing the little short sprays, they're setting up for the rain. The long lines are the cloud seeding operations. Now watch these storms just fire up as all the chemtrail come into the picture. So you are definitely getting sprayed in Louisiana. And it's firing up these storms, getting them to run backwards, and it reloads. Don't you figure that? So check it out. All the aerosols, what they do, they turn into thunderstorms. It's like clockwork. So to say that one man is going to stop the New World Order is complete BS. And it really is disappointing to see SGT go that route. So yeah, very frustrating, because that's not the way it works. If you're a truther, then you got to dig a little bit. You got to look at the maps. You can't just say just because your state is clear that they are stopping the chemtrails. It's not going to happen. Won't happen. We have aerosols being deployed all the way from Canada all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. All day long. All night long. And let me change the thing here. And we got some footage that has come out. And this is back from April 1st. This is the Gulf of Iowa, the Gulf of Missouri. I mean, look at some of this flooding that went on. It's a huge dead zone now. All this land. Here, let me make this even bigger so you guys can see this. This is what Missouri looks like. And it still does. Most of it is still flooded. Look at this highway, goes into nowhere. Now, I drove up here right after they opened the highway just a couple weeks ago, and it's still flooded. There's a huge dead zone. I mean, the waters are receding, but it's this bad, man. This looks like an ocean. The river is like 6-7 miles away from this area. The extent of the flooding is just enormous. I don't think people realize what's really going to happen with the food prices. You know, they're targeting the food supplies worldwide, and it's all going to slap us in the face before we know it. This is the very highway I shot all that footage from. So, at least they're putting the footage out, but where the hell is the farmers? Where's all the missing farmers on this land? And we can go zoom in on here and just see the dead zone. Here's the squiggly line is the river. I mean, we're talking miles and miles to this highway, and it's flooded both sides. And if this would load and come in clear, you know, we go back a year. There is no dead zone. I mean, this is all dead zone. This whole thing from the river all the way to the highway, both sides. We're talking, and it goes all the way down through Missouri. It goes all the way up. We have dead zones everywhere, and it was all farmland, every bit of it. And we'll get into this map here in a little bit. We got aerosols being deployed everywhere. We got twin hurricanes out here. Hey, thanks there, Drone Wolf. Let's jump into a few headlines. Let me get rid of that. Pump to pray. TEPCO might have to pour water on Fukushima wreckage forever. They just don't know what to do with this place. Fukushima is a nightmare disaster area, and no one has the slightest idea what to do. The game is to prevent the crippled nuclear plant from turning into an open-air super reactor. It's already a catastrophe. But yet they keep building these things. They will never learn, man. Another record. Yeah, and you know what crop isn't being affected? The opium crops. They just had another record year of opium production. So, you know, the crops like this, they're not going to flood these crops out. They make too much money on them. That's not the way the alphabet gangs work. Salmonella outbreak tied to pig-eared dog treats. Expands to 27 states. So there's an outbreak of salmonella. I can't talk. Salmonella infections linked to pig ears. Purchase as dog treats has expanded to 27 states. 93 people stricken. What are the people eating the dog ears? Including 20 hospitalizations, according to the federal health officials. Since Pet Supplies Plus in early June recalled the bulk pig ears sold at more than 400 stores in 33 states, another 48 illnesses have been reported, bringing the total of known infections to 93. That's crazy. I wonder if they mean the dogs and not the humans, man. They're acting like it's 93 people. So pretty crazy. Some of the states, Alabama, Arizona, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Maryland, everybody. Everybody but like Hawaii. So even your dogs are not safe. Be lucky they're not down in Australia where they're dropping the 1080 and all the other crap. Well, they have done that in California. What's driving the high water levels in Lake Ontario? So docks are being submerged up there. The highest it ever reached was in 2017 was 75.69. And right now they're, so far this year in July, they're at 75.82. So the water levels are dependent on many things, but heavy rainfall is one of the main components. The heavy rain could either be near the lake itself or inflows. Well, what's happening is they've steered the atmospheric river up. Of course, they're going to blame it on climate change. My gosh. But what's happened is they've got everything so full that the rivers are running backwards. That's what happened in Missouri. We have even more farmlands flooded all over Missouri because all the lakes were so full, the rivers had to run backwards, and then they started backing up on people's properties, flooding out farmlands. In fact, the one down the road from me, the farmland that got flooded from the rivers running backwards, just now receded. In fact, I'll try to get some footage tomorrow to show the dead zone it created. Up in Canada, they're getting fake honey still pouring into the local beekeepers are getting ripped off. So it's like honey fraud. So they're importing fake honey and then pawning it off as real honey. And of course, just putting the local farmers out of business. This attack on the local farmers, just another aspect. We've had a 6.5 magnitude quake off of Japan's and no tsunami warning. This happened on Sunday. Check this out. The tremor occurred at 3:31, so you get 33 in there. The epicenter at a latitude of 33 degrees north. You think that was a weapon? Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy numbers right there. And then, you know, one of the best things to fight the so-called fake global warming, fake climate change would be to plant trees. So what do? They're deforestation the rainforest. The Amazon rate hits 3 football fields per minute. So they're wiping out the rainforest at 3 football fields a minute. So down in Brazil, they're just clear cutting the one thing that keeps the air clean. I mean, it's just madness going on out here. I mean, these people should all be took out of office, never to be seen from again. Austin, Texas just recorded the coldest ever July temperature. More record-busting cold on the way for a majority of North America that's just come out. It was been confirmed last week. Historically deep midsummer cold front brought the mercury crashing to its lowest level in Austin, Texas for the month of July. Everybody else was burning up though. Look at the heat up in Alaska. This is what happens when you affect the jet streams. This is what happens when you affect the atmospheric rivers. And then you add in the grand solar minimum, and you got, you know, you got like David Keith saying they could create an ice age for 0.01% of the GDP. That's what they're doing. Now, I don't know if this is satire here. I don't know. But this is just freaky, man. A raw zombie chicken crawls from the plate at a restaurant. Like, I don't know if this is CGI. I don't know if this is real. I just freaked out when I seen this. Check this out. We'll play it. Look at that thing, man. That is just gross. Who cuts chicken like that? Like, what is this? They say it's in Washington, but this looks like they're like in China or something. I don't know. That's just some freaky stuff right there. Now I've seen the, you know, who knows with what they're creating in the lab, man. This is like the petri dish meat. Just gross stuff. Anyway, we got more whales beached on Florida's west coast. They're coming up everywhere, man. Remember over at Washington, Oregon, so many whales died that they were having to ask private beaches if the whales could be brought there to die in peace so they could rot. That's how bad it was. So today on Monday, several whales beached themselves on Pinellas County Beach. Man, the oceans are dying. So, just more bad news, man. I don't have good news. I never do. Had a 4.1 up in Alaska, felt by 2 towns. I really should have pulled the earthquake thing up. The world marks earliest Earth's overshoot day. Starting Monday, humanity will consume more resources through the end of 2019 than the planet's sustainability regenerate for the year, according to the Global Footprint Network, which has been calculated Earth overshoot day since 1986. Earth overshoot day falling on July 29th means that humanity is currently using up 1.7 times faster than the planet's ecosystem can regenerate. The GFN totals uses of food, timber, fibers, carbon, and more. Excuse me there. See, this is why they want to bring in the New World Order. This is why they want to depopulate. They think that we are the cockroaches of the planet, and there's too many of us, so they're going to get rid of us. Well, we're not going down easy, I can tell you that. So, whatever. All right, we got a deadly mosquito-borne virus, another man-made virus, another bioweapon that causes brain swelling in humans has been detected in Florida. We knew with all this rain, they're just going to come up with all kinds of Zika viruses and all kinds of stuff to scare the masses into getting the vaccines. Florida health officials are warning of an uptick in a mosquito-borne virus known as the Eastern Equine Encephalitis. I don't know how to pronounce that. The EEE. Several centennial chickens tested positive, which can spread to humans via infected mosquitoes and cause brain infection and swelling. Well, you can bet your butt that the governor down there, his wife works for the CDC. She makes the vaccinations. They're probably getting ready to profit millions of dollars to come up with the antidote. Keep your eyes on that. We'll be looking into that. That's just what they did with Zika. Same thing. It's a big racket system. A big monopoly. And you're just a number. So the museum fire near Flagstaff is now 61% contained. We got fires going on in a couple places we'll take a look at. The nano brain implant. Electromagnetic information weapons. The remote manipulation of the human brain. I didn't get to read this, so I think I'm going to hold off on this one until I get to read this. Let's go ahead and just jump right into the worldview real quick. Let me go ahead and see if I got the ship. See if there's any kind of bunker fuel being deployed. A little bit here off the Kamchatka Peninsula. Man, it's really kind of a mess out here. It's not really picking up a whole lot as far as the bunker fuel. There's a few right in here, but they're not really standing out too big. Here's our two hurricanes. If they're not hurricanes, they will be. So we got heavy aerosols being deployed over the Bajas. Looks like they're trying to create like a land hurricane down here. Ooh, we got frequencies all in with it. Big, thick, heavy chemtrails all in that. So Mexico's definitely getting bombarded. Just kind of go up. You know, is this smoke? Is this... Ah, it's aerosols. Look, there's the shadows. So you got big, fat shortliners in Santa Maria. And I don't know if this is trails that are starting to span out. Let's see if we can pick up where they come from. Gotta let that load up a little bit. And it may not... Oh, there it goes. So we got a little bit of spray going on there in California. You got heavy liners in Fresno. So you got a lot of short segmented spraying. they're getting a little sneakier on the spray. So this spraying operation actually goes all the way up through California into Yosemite National Park, and then it actually goes right on up through Nevada and all the way through Nevada. You got big liners. Look at that big fat line right there going across right over Reno, just to the west of Carson City. So yeah, we got aerosols being deployed all over Mexico, California, Nevada. Arizona's getting bombarded. Big heavy liner right there, leaving a big shadow on the ground. Nope, they have not stopped. They're still spraying, and they're damn sure not healthy. Yeah, there was the winds. Yeah, you guys should be getting some winds. I think we called them out on the 16-day there. They got everything running backwards. We got the fires up here. A few aerosols up in Northern California. But look at the fires. Just click that layer. Wow, the layer's not even loaded yet. So the stream's at least running semi-decent tonight. There it goes, starting to load now. So yeah, just because you, if you got clear skies for a couple of weeks, man, that's about all you're going to get. They will start hitting you. Look at all the frequencies out here. There's a radar site right there, and that's what's eating the cloud out. That radar that sits right in the center there. It's eating the clouds apart. Wow, they're really hitting this with some microwaves right here, man. That's not gravity wave clouds. That's the microwave radiation coming off the NEXRADs. Got a little sprayer out there just freaking the clouds out. And Oregon is looking okay right now on the aerosols. Washington, most of Washington looks pretty good till you get up here in the northeast section. Trying to get that to load up for us. So you got heavy aerosols right there in the northeast. You know, going right over the border through Montana, Idaho, all the way up into Alberta. You know, all the fires up here, they're spraying up here constantly. And it's not fire suppression. It's fire accelerants. We got big long liners going on up here. Right where all the fires are, man. It's the same story every year. They spray the accelerants on there. They give you about a month warning. Hey, it's going to be a bad fire season. Well, hey, let us spray some accelerants on there so we can make sure it burns. Now, I know we're getting heavy aerosols over here in Michigan. Michigan is a complete whiteout. Ohio, getting bombarded. Indiana, smoked. Kentucky, Tennessee, and we just showed you on the radars, it goes all the way down into Louisiana. Florida's getting hammered. Probably check the layers here. Looks like you might even have a water generating station out here on one of the ships. Looks like they're trying to develop something out here. So the aerosols aren't coming in real good on the worldview map, but they're definitely coming in on the GO 16, GO 17. We have ship tracks up here. Wow. Very rare spot for ship tracks. Let's see if that comes out with the layer. Yeah, not very good. So, wow. That's a strange spot. So, I'm going to say this is going to head over to the UK. So, heads up now. We may even have ship tracks up here. So, it's almost like they moved the shipping operation out over here to the Atlantic. I mean, that is strange. Look at that cloud formation being pulled into these ship tracks. I mean, we got bunker fuel being deployed big time up here. This is a look. Them are not normal cargo paths. What kind of path is this? This isn't a fishing vessel pass. These are weather modification paths. Then you got everything being pulled right there. Heavy aerosols. So it looks like they're getting ready to send, you know, everybody over here, Ireland, UK, you know, some kind of weird, look at that system right there. Wow. So we got some strange weather manipulation going on out here in the Atlantic. Trying to get this to load up. Just click that again. So yeah, you got to look at these sometimes pretty good to actually spot that stuff. So Spain, Portugal is looking pretty clear right now. So Ireland, UK, heads up, man. You got a bunker fuel being deployed over here. And it's all going to head right your way. Iceland, UK, Ireland, France. So heads up, incoming bunker fuel. What do we got over here? Is that some inadvertent spraying going? We'll have to see here. Man, I can't get it to load. We got the dogs barking in the background. That's okay, finally starting to load. Wow, it's taking forever. Yeah, if you want to get, oh yeah, them are just regular fair weather clouds. What do you know? Alright, I didn't get any of this stuff loaded too good. I do want to check Australia real quick. They got fires going on. They got just as bad as weather modification going on down there as we do. In fact, they all do. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, you know, with these governments. You know, this is all about the New World Order. This is all about control, man. This is the Hunger Games. This is, you know, this is the times we're in, man. They have a plan that they're sticking by, and they're going to get to that plan at any extent. If they've got to go into a civil war with this, they will. That's why everybody needs to armor up. You know, that's why they're, you know, censoring us on YouTube, man. It's crazy what they do. All right, we got that pretty well covered. Look, we got a couple of tropical storm Eric, tropical storm Flossie. Let's take a quick look at these. So they're calling this one to go into a category 3. Let me zoom this out a little bit farther. So look at that thing. It's going to skirt Hawaii. So it's going to be here around 96-hour forecast. It's going to be coming just south of Hawaii. So heads up. It should go down to a tropical storm by then. But we'll definitely keep our eyes on it. Let's go ahead and check the IR. Look at that. Double hurricanes. That's pretty crazy. We see it all the time. There's a name for that when they start circulating each other. And I can't remember what the name of that is. I'm sure it'll come up. Hell, I'm ready. Let's get it on. Let's do it while I'm still around. Let's get this party started. Wow, this isn't loading very good. Guess why we're waiting on this? So this one's going to turn, you know, into a category 2 going right behind it. So that's far out as I can span this one. So it's showing as a category 2. So you're going to have a 1-2 punch. So there's Hawaii right there where my mouse is. So you got 2 hurricanes following the exact same path. What are the odds of that? Right here should tell you, man, this is what they're going to do. This is probably a practice run. This is a practice run for the next target later on this summer. Somebody's going to get blasted by 2 hurricanes. This is just a practice run. Maybe not even this year, maybe next year. They're going to see how close they can keep them on the same target. So that's pretty insane. 2 category 2s are be going at the same time, headed for the same place. That's unbelievable. Let's go ahead and check the mimic map, see what kind of manipulation they're doing. Yeah, maybe they're going to try to flood the volcanic magma down. They're going to try to cool it down. So it's pretty funny how the atmospheric river has not been circulating like it's supposed to, but now it is just in this one spot. I mean, this atmospheric river is just toasted right now. You got this side pulling it up this way, it's pulling that way, they're pulling it up into Alaska, they're pulling it up into the Midwest. I mean, they've completely ruined the natural cycle of the atmospheric river. You could see them blowing it apart over Australia, creating the drought, the 120-year drought. Look, the atmospheric river's trying to pull down towards New Zealand. Then it gets blasted away. Look, it's being pulled to South America, Argentina. That's where they've been getting flooded. Brazil, they're pulling that. Look at that. This thing should be swirling, you know, kind of like over here. Like, that's really the only natural swirling atmospheric river right there. These 2 right here. This thing's being completely stretched and pulled. They're blocking it over here on the West Coast. And they're pulling it up right through the Midwest. This stuff should be just going right on over, but it's not. Completely manipulated. Low frequencies. Ionospheric heating. Look at all that smoke in the air right there. You can just see it right here on this map. And we'll take a look and zoom in on a few spots here. Yeah, it looks like they're conjuring up like another system right there in the Bajas. So you have a monsoon going there in the Bajas. Let's go ahead and jump in on a couple of these spraying operations just to get them documented. We got this one right here in Florida. I mean, Michigan's getting blasted. Ohio, Illinois. They're already so cloud covered now. Hopefully we can get this to load. And of course it don't want to load very good. Look at all them X's right there. You know you're going to get rain if you're getting bombarded. I noticed here in the Midwest they start spraying normally 2 days before the rain. The first day you get the massive migraine headache. The first day, whatever they're spraying, it affects a lot of people with, you know, major migraines. Then the second day, it's a different kind of spray. And then by the 3rd day, you get the rain. So you got tons of different aerosols being deployed all over Florida, like different areas. mainly right here through the center. You got a bunch of tic-tac-toe boards going. You got them already expanding out, and then right up the coast of Georgia. Let's go up a little farther. And I'll make a video here soon on some of the stuff I use to detox. I mean, I still got a bad cough. I mean, I got chemtrail cough. I got smoker's cough. I got it all. So look at that targeted area right there. They're spraying. They're trying to pull this system up into Georgia. Look at that X right there. So mega spraying right here. I mean, they're really targeting Georgia and South Carolina. So you can bet your bottom dollar this storm is going to come up right in that area they just sprayed. If I get it to load, we'll find out. Well, they're getting more lightning strikes because of the aerosols, because of the bunker fuel, all the ships out here releasing the super thick bunker fuel. And that reminds me, you know, the bunker fuel is the leftovers of refining gas. It's super thick, and they have to heat it up to even burn it. It has to be preheated. Look at that. Okay, this is a perfect example of how they steer the hurricanes. They steer the storms with the chemtrails. So you got the chemtrails coming right up the coast. The heaviest of the aerosols are right there in Georgia. Now watch as we go forward. Remember, right here's what, look, they're still spraying. That's the headache spray. Here's the other spray. And then watch the storm be pulled right into where the aerosols were deployed. There you go. Follows the aerosols exactly. I watched them stay right out ahead of Hurricane Florence from the Sahara Desert all the way to the East Coast. The spraying operation stayed out about 200, 300 miles out ahead of it, exactly, all the way across the Atlantic Ocean. I mean, it's just complete documentation of how they use these nano particulates and the NexRads to steer these storms. It's like clockwork. Let's see if we can pick up what's going on up here. So you got big time X's everywhere on this system. Big one going through New York. Yeah, so everybody got bombarded up here. Like, this is like a day late as far as they're all spraying it out ahead of it. And where was that other? Let's look over here in California, because they, you know, they say that they think they're getting healing. They're getting the healing chemtrails. That's such BS, man. And it really sucks that people are falling for that nonsense. And it really sucks that the big channels are promoting that. So yeah, there's that big fat liner we've seen on the worldview map. Actually, quite a few liners over here in the southeast, right there on the border. Right down there. I think is that where you're at, Bamboo? You get hit with all this crap. And thanks out there, Bamboo. So yeah, California's getting hit. You're just, if you're not getting hit, you're just, you know, getting a break. So you have tons of aerosols being deployed over California right now. Let's check. Let's go up north. I didn't think I seen any up here up north, but we'll check the fire smoke. It should come in. So the air quality is really bad. I had an article and I don't know where it went, but it showed that I think it was India had the worst air quality on the planet, and then Oregon was after that. Look at all these X's over here in Nevada. Look over here in Colorado, man, big old fat liners. California, you're getting it right over the Paradise. Look at that, you got heavy aerosols right over Paradise. So that may be the next fire zone. So yeah, California is getting sprayed everywhere, but you know, a couple little sections. The whole state of Nevada is getting them. Let's go way up here to see what's going on. I can already see them. Some night. Look at these spraying up here in Alberta, BC. Nighttime spraying. Oh, yep. Washington's getting them too. They're spraying them at night though. That's, look at all these. Look at these big fat liners over here in BC. Look at them things, man. That's crazy. Look at that crap. Holy moly. That is some big time heavy duty. That's the big tanker ships there. Now they're dropping some heavy aerosols to create that big a cloud. Them are monster chemtrails. Them are like smoke curtains right there. I wonder if I can go a little bit up. Man, I don't know if I can get there. I think that's where I'm at right now. Let me go to the west. So first I have to go to the west. And of course the video output is low. They don't want you to see this stuff. Oh yeah, it's kind of all down in there. Let's just see why I got this here. Big fat liner going over the Russia there. Look at these long aerosols over the Aleutian Island chain. What the heck? You got monster chemtrails here and then over here. And then you got X's going across. So they're setting up the next weather systems. Big aerosols right over the Bering Sea. So we got mega aerosols going on. This is where all the planes are. This is where all the planes and drones are. They're setting us up for something. So wow, that's some heavy duty spraying right there. Let me see if I can check this out a little farther south. Looks like they're spraying the Freemason symbol over there. So we got a lot of smoke out here. We got the bunker fuel. Just got to get this to load. Holy crap, look at that spraying operation. This is where all the aircraft is. This is why it's not super heavy. On top of, it'd be in summertime. There's not as many fronts to seed. Man, I want to see what that turns into. That's crazy right there. So you got mega spraying going on. I mean, all the way up to the north, up in the Bering Sea. That's a thick, thick spray. Let's go back up here for a second here. Yeah, Russia's definitely burning up. I'm going to put this on the microphysics and just see what it looks like. Let me take off this, disable that. So the dark blue lines will be the chemtrails, and if there's any of the white, like right here, you can see the heavy dark blue lines. That's all the spraying. And if you see the wider lines, the lighter lines, that would be bunker fuel, which we'll see if I can get this to go up. So we got, look at that big X right there over Alaska. There's aerosols being deployed all over. This is what they're doing, dude. They're heating the Arctic up, getting to the resources, melting the permafrost. Wow, that's a huge spraying operation right there over the Aleutian Islands, through the Bering Sea. Mass spraying operation. I mean, big, thick trails. They were some of the biggest ones I've seen. So if you're out there with the camera, like one of these fat lines is taking up miles of space. I mean, look at these things. They're huge. Yeah, that's a crazy, that's probably one of the biggest spraying operations I think we've ever caught up here in the Bering Strait, down in the Aleutian Islands, and over here in British Columbia. I mean, we got mega fat liners bombarded. Every one of these systems are just getting smacked down. All the fire zones are getting sprayed. Then you got all the smoke mixing in from the Russia fires, mixing in with all these chemtrails. They are creating, they're like super heating the planet up here. You know what causes wind? Heat. So they're trapping the heat in, which is going to create the wind. So you're going to be getting some more wind events just from the pure, they're, you know, doing like a rapid heating event up here. What is that? Is that like an eclipse of the moon? What the hell is that? No, it's not Planet X. That's pretty crazy though. And what is... Man, that's some crazy stuff there, right there. So yeah, pretty wild right there. Okay, so that's documented. Let me go check something on the Earth null. Let's go ahead and check the polar vortex winds. And then we need to check the temperature up here where they're spraying. Wow, what happened to the Earth null? Oh, there it is. Woo, I was starting to freak out. Alright, let's check the temperatures. It's not a super heating event by any means, but definitely a heating event. Let's go look down here. Everything's, that little heating event they were doing down there is dissipated. So they're actually heating the whole Arctic right now. We can go down the levels, check the temperatures. Thanks out there, Jeff. Much love out there. Yeah, whatever you do, don't give up the guns, man. That's the last thing that's keeping this new world order. And they're going to keep on pushing all these gun events. You know what would have stopped the garlic shooting? A good guy with a gun in the park, but no, they had metal detectors up. So no good guy could get in with a gun. Only the bad guys. So once we get down to the jet stream level, you can actually see the heating events going on. So they are definitely, let me see where this goes, if I can fast forward it. Yep, right where the aerosols are. This is how they're creating the wind. So heat creates the wind, and then that's how we get our wind. That's how the jet streams get their flows, by the heat. The heat rises, pushes air out, and that's what creates the winds. Look, we have a heating event on both both hurricanes. So these are definitely being heated. You know, if you think about it, the thunderstorms, you know, the heat rises, and then as it gets all the way up to the top, the clouds should be cooler at the tops, but these aren't. These are being heated. So here at the jet stream level, we have a heating event. So them things are like targeted. Interesting. Check the ocean wave heights. See if I can fast forward these up. We'll see what kind of waves we're going to get with this thing. "30-foot waves. 33.3, what a number. Let's take it up another day. 34.3. 30.3 or 2. See if we can go up another day. So yeah, this thing's going to dissipate before it hits Hawaii, but this one looks even stronger. 40.5 foot waves. Where's this baby going? So you're still going to get some waves and some rain off this Hawaii. So we're going to go ahead and give you an alert now. Got a couple days here to prepare. This one's actually going a little farther north, and I don't know how far I'm going to get, as far as I can track out. We'll go check the models on that. Let's go ahead and go check that right now. I guess we'll go ahead and check the particulates and stuff while we're here. Yeah, look at Russia's fires, man. You can see all the fires going on up here in the black. Over here, like Mongolia, in the black. And that's just China's air, man. That's just their air. Look at our East Coast. You can see the fires going on. In Oregon, it's all getting trapped down here in Southern California. Looks like we got some kind of event. That looks like that's around Missouri. Oh, I think I was fast forward a little bit. Let me get this back on now. So some of the highest carbon dioxide concentrations are right there in Southern California. Let me go back to the carbon dioxide. I was a couple days ahead here. So we got all the Sahara dust. It's all, you know, here's the thing. Oh, we got another huge wave of Sahara dust coming here. This is where I got my chest cold or whatever it is. As soon as this stuff started coming up and over is when I got this chest stuff. And it hasn't gone away since. We keep getting hit with wave after wave of this stuff. That's like a hurricane of dust. So it's all over the United States. All this Sahara dust. In fact, now that I think about it, outside on our porch, we got these little candle holders that goes around the little pop-up umbrella thing. And all at the bottom of all them little candle holders is red dust, red sand. And it's coming from here. And everybody, if you got something outside like a clear glass container, leave it out there for a few days. And you're going to see this orangish red dust build up in there. It'll be on your cars. So this is crazy, man. This is the most dust I've ever seen us get hit by. You know, usually about once a year, twice a year, we'll get hit. But this has been wave after wave after wave. So just completely insane right there. And then here's our particulates. When you get up to the PM10s, that'll show up more of this dust coming at us. Alright guys, I think we're going to go ahead and call this a show. It's really buffering, starting to buffer again too. Anyway guys, much love out there. Thanks for getting this stuff shared out. Make sure people know, hey, that the chemtrails have not stopped. They're never going to stop. They're going to get worse. They're going to push this climate agenda, this new world order on us, and we got to fight back. Anyway guys, much love. Let's hit the song Rise. We're going to have to rise. Completely running out of time. These big channels have to quit pushing this fake chemtrail was ended by Trump thing. They're ruining the minds of millions of listeners, man. They really are. Anyway guys, much love. We'll catch you tomorrow night, God willing. Armor up.